since, well, actually, Jesus used foot in the door. The ability to get into somebody's mind or make them think differently about something is a way to get them to listen to you. Jesus' parables are an example of foot in the door. He didn't tell them the things that they didn't want to hear. Instead, he told a story that would open their mind and have them listen to something that maybe they wouldn't have early on. In our textbook, Foot in the Door, excuse me, is highlighted by the study done by Friedman and Fraser about being able to put up a sign or talk to these housewives. And I thought it was interesting how they talked about the housewives in the studies. What kind of housewives were they? Were they this kind of housewife? Were they this kind of housewife? When you're trying to get your foot in the door, understanding who your market is going to be. Are you marketing to somebody that's busy? Are you marketing to somebody who has a different attitude? Those are all things that allow you to get your foot in the door, and good salespeople will figure that out. Today I'm not talking really about sales, but a lot more about political things. If I'm selling something political, then I probably don't want to call this woman and try to get my foot in the door at 5 o'clock right before dinner. Now, everybody's foot is different. And what gets us in the door is a huge issue and is a science. Political science uses foot in the door all the time. Most importantly, when you're trying to get your foot in the door is relationships. Now, this guy obviously has a relationship with the person behind the door, and we want him so who you are, what you look like, what kind of housewife you are is going to drastically impact what kind of foot in the door technique you're going to use. Foot in the door is about relationships, trust, getting to know the person that you're trying to relate to. We all know that when people are trying to sell us something or convince us of something, we need to know who they are. Are they our friends? Do we trust them? Do they look nice? Do they look like us when they're selling something? Those are all things that trying to sell something to people, we want to make sure that we trust them. They trust us. You want to get to know your customer. You've all gotten that sales birthday card from your insurance salesman. They want you to know that they know who you are and you can trust them and that you have a relationship. Foot in the door is about relationship. You can't, it's hard. They're going to send you these little address labels. And so you're going to open them up because they're always cute and they're fun. And you think, well, I'll just set them here. And then you go to use that address label. And a lot of people can't use something without paying for it, especially if it's a request for funds. So you think, well, I'll just drop a few dollars in and into the mail, and then the foot in the door has worked. Cognitive dissonance and foot in the door. When we have two opposing ideas in our mind, it creates a war almost. Good, bad. If I eat that piece of chocolate cake, even though I know I'm a diabetic, it creates a war within ourselves, good angel, bad angel. And what foot in the door does is really capitalize on those feelings. We don't want to have these negative thoughts rattling around in our brain, like, would I steal a nickel from someone who really needs it and obviously is deserving of having a donation from me? So, the good angel says, send in some money. The bad angel says it's just a ploy, and you go back and forth, and that dissonance gives us this weakness inside ourselves that makes us very vulnerable. So if I tell you, I'm going to give you a nickel, this was Benjamin Franklin was one of the first people to say, if I do somebody a favor, or if I loan them something, they're much more apt to listen to what I've said. Now here we have Thomas Jefferson, and I'm not sure Benjamin Franklin ever loaned him anything, but they lived in the same time, and they were really students of human nature. And so Benjamin Franklin knew that if he gave somebody something, it opened that door, it opened their mind a little bit. And we all have that. One of my favorite stories is the man who's got a brand new Corvette, and he's driving down the road, and he wants to take it out onto a narrow country road, and so he's got this beautiful Corvette, it's all shined up, and he goes around a corner, and here comes a woman right at him, and he narrowly misses her, says, and as she passes him by, she rolls down the window and says, "Pig!" And he can't believe it. He's a good driver. How could she call him that? And he puts his foot into it, goes around the corner, and they're in the middle of a road. The road is a pig. So these types of opposing things make us think. A person used that speech with a group of people that I was with, because we were all cemented in our idea of where we were in a political situation, and he used that example to make us understand that some of the people that were telling us that we were pigs really weren't, that they were actually trying to tell us that there was a pig in the road. Foot in the door is the nibbler. And the nibbler you see a lot. Car salesmen nibble, realtors nibble. Just try my product. Vacuum cleaner salesmen. Nibblers are out there everywhere. And at first you think maybe they'll just take a little bite. But often you find that the nibble turns into some pretty severe bite. So you have to be very careful of nibbling. Nibbling is where somebody will say they'll buy your house. They love your house. Your house is the best house in the world. It's the most beautiful house they've ever seen. They can hardly wait to move in. They make the opening bid, and they start looking around, and then you've agreed on the price, but they find a few things, and they start to nibble. And pretty soon that beautiful house that they loved turns into something that doesn't even resemble the house that they loved a few weeks ago and wanted to purchase. And they nibble at the price and gradually get you down. And nibbling also happens in political campaigns, any kind of sales campaign. You get them in for one price, and then you let them know just a little bit more and a little bit more about the positions or the issue, and pretty soon your beautiful, beautiful mansion starts to look a little bit rough around to the edges. Since my background is fundraising, I'm going to share with you the best piece of fundraising advice I got. I got it over 25 years ago when I was first starting out. raising money for a cause. And that was from a friend, a local guy here who's very successful. If I mentioned his name, you'd know him. And he told me, don't ever go to try to get money for the first time from somebody that's never given milk. Find a cow that gives milk regularly. Those are the people that are easiest to get your foot in the door with the first time. And I have found that to be the most accurate fundraising information. And I think fundraising goes to everything. If you're getting ready to do a committee, if you're getting ready to do a project, look around for those cows that have already given milk. And you know, sometimes they're easily recognized. You see them and you immediately think, wow, those are good cows. Those cows give a lot of milk. They'll be perfect for what I'm doing, and I want those cows on my team. But you also have to be very careful that sometimes people will look like they might be really good cows at giving milk, but looks can be deceptive. So be careful, because sometimes you think, wow, I've got this cow and I'm going to spend a lot of time on them and I'm going to really try to get milk out of them, and they may look wealthy, they may go to all the right parties, but they're just not donors. So when I get ready to start fundraising, one of the first things I do is I find out who I'm marketing to, what people care about, what they like, and then I go back to that relationship. I have people that I have relationships with, and I know what they like to give to and what they don't, what they like to spend time on working on and what they don't. And probably for me, the most important thing is I find a busy person and I get them, like Benjamin Franklin, I ask them a favor. I get them to maybe just sit on a board with me. Won't take much time, a month or so, or would you help with this fundraiser I'm doing? And pretty soon they see how the benefits of what this project is, and pretty soon they're very active. But I don't go to people and try to start fresh. Time, we all have three things in common: a limited amount of time, energy, and resources. I am always short on time and resources, and lately my energy has been getting a little short too. So I look around, I find busy people that know how to get things done, and I keep them in my circle of friends, and when I get ready to do things, I have a group of people that I can call that I know, and they can call me too. That's the other thing. Busy people know that they can call people that have helped in the past. It's Benjamin Franklin, it's that foot in the door mentality. We know the cows that give milk, and both time and money. So foot in the door, fundraising, they're all being used today to market things to you based on what kind of housewife you are, whether you're that housewife from the 50s or you're the one with the tattooed belly piercing. People that are out there marketing to you know what you want. They know how to open that little door of your mind and get into it. And I think more so than ever, I've really been struck recently, because I work in the PR, public relations field, that how important it is for us to protect our children from the branding that goes on at a very young age. I took a class given here in Shasta County where one of the authors of the book about the boys that had done the Columbine shooting came in to speak with us, and he reminded us that those were just boys. They were nice boys, and they opened their door to something that they shouldn't have, and how critical it is in this world that we don't open our door to things and to people that could hurt us. And I suppose you're tired of looking at cow udders, but I can't figure out an easy way to end this. So I will just simply remind you that when you're selling anything, and instead of selling the back end of the cow, always remember that if you want to sell something, puppies are always good, puppies sell, and you want to make sure that whatever you're marketing, whatever you're using to get your foot in the door, whether it's fundraising or political, you have to have a puppy. And that puppy can be anything. It can be anything from a child to a cause that makes people open their wallets, and it can even be a politician. You know, there are politicians that have that puppy aspect about them, and right now in politics, fundraising is the name of the game. So remember, to get your foot in the door, you need a puppy. You need cows that have already given milk, and we need to be very careful as we get better and better at PR and marketing that we're not allowing our young people to see things or have things in their mind that will make them make choices later on that are not good for them. Thank you. I hope you liked my foot in the door presentation. It was kind of campy and cheesy, but what can you expect? Thanks. Bye.